My name is Charles Klein, and I'm here to introduce my 10-week strength and conditioning program. My program really resembles a program that the initial entry soldier participates in when they enter basic training. And the purpose of this program is to develop a foundation for fitness and fundamental skills. The overall objective is to develop an adequate cardiovascular capacity and the muscular strength and endurance in order to physically meet the demands of a military lifestyle. This program closely resembles one that would be found in the initial entry training for military service, and the achievement goal is to perform a 2-mile run within 15 minutes, 45 seconds, perform 42 push-ups in 2 minutes, and 52 sit-ups within 2 minutes. This is the minimum standard for successful completion of this 10-week program. This curriculum also prepares the candidate or our subject to perform the necessary mission-essential tasks, as we would call them in the military, required of each individual to successfully be integrated into the military. The methods provide a systematic increase in the intensity and or duration of physical activities. Proper progression will allow the body to positively adapt to the stresses of training. When intensity or duration is increased too rapidly, the participant cannot adapt to the demands of the training and is unable to recover and may lead to injury. A little bit red there. We have selected a 17-year-old high school graduate. He weighs approximately 165 pounds, 6'1", and he did not participate in any high school sports or extracurricular activities. He did, however, for the span of perhaps 6 months, practice push-ups, and he ran 1 to 2 miles 3 times a week, and but he did it at his own pace. In regard to frequency and intensity, the following data tables detail the intent of each session and the actual events according to the day of the week. This is a 5-day-a-week program, Monday through Friday. In Table 1, the individual exercises will be broken down for each drill that will be conducted on a particular day. For the actual performance or the skill cues for each exercise, we'll refer to the Field Manual 7-22. This is Army Physical Readiness Training. Table 2 describes the purpose of each activity each day, and Table 3 dictates the specific event for each day and displays each week's progression. The various exercises introduced in Table 1 will be explained, demonstrated, and assessed for understanding and proper performance for maximum effective benefit, and of course the avoidance of injury. There's quite an exhaustive list of the drills and exercises, and for our purposes, as opposed to, for example, the purposes of a basic training element, at any time we can select various of these exercises. We can mix and match. These are just suggestions or recommendations. And then on Monday, on Table 2, Monday is strictly to improve endurance and mobility, and those selected events benefit this mode. And the session on Tuesday is to develop further body management competencies in a total body muscular strength and endurance mobility. And Wednesday is a focus on activities that condition our individual for specific individual movement techniques, for example, moving under direct and indirect fire. Thursday continues with core exercises, and those exercises are listed in the drills and exercises. And we also lead to climbing exercises, which focus strictly on the upper body strength. Okay, and as we see, the next is quite an exhaustive list and broken down by week, by day, with a continual increase for progression. It's noted that the second day there's a 1 mile assessment run, and this determines the level of our subject's leg muscular endurance and his cardiovascular capacity. And by day 10 we actually have a practice physical fitness test, which we see how far the subject has come in performing those 3 events: the 2 mile run, the push-ups and sit-ups. By day 25, again, we have another practice physical fitness assessment, again, to determine the progress of our subject. Day 35, again, is another physical fitness assessment. By this time, our subject should have made considerable progress. And the last day, if you'll notice, it's a record physical fitness assessment. Now that record meaning this is to assess whether the candidate has successfully completed the 10-week program. And here are the results. If you look at table 4, you'll see the results. Our subject did improve considerably. He made legitimate progress, and over the 10-week period, this individual's weight increased from the initial 165 pounds to 172 pounds. It must be noted that although the subject scored a 204 on the practice assessment on day 25, he did meet the goal of scoring 60% in a 2 mile run. I know from my own experience that this program works. With the exception of road marches, confidence, and obstacle courses, this 10-week program closely follows that, as was said, to the strength and conditioning program offered the U.S. Army's new recruits. It is considered the toughening phase outlined for basic training, and depending on the individual recruit's physiological makeup and level of conditioning or fitness upon entry, and the course, of course, barring any injuries, the average trainee is successful at completing this program. For references, see Field Manual 7-22 Army Physical Readiness Training.